Hello, crafty friends. It's Debbie with Make It With Me. I could not wait to get started on this kit, so I've got all of my supplies cut out. Now, these were punch outs, these buffalo plaid, all of these were punched out of the kit, as well as the trees, the Noel, and then we got these little bling enamel dots to go there. I've got my red ribbon. I've got my shaded spruce ink, which I may add another one to that. Now I've cut out all of these. Now the trees and this green were actually cards. So I have cut them out and I'm going to use them as card fronts so that I can stretch this kit and get more out of it. And all I did was, let me move this over a little bit. All I did was cut these at I'm doing A2 size cards. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm just moving this over to the 4 1/4 mark. I'm backing it up just a couple of notches and trimming that off. And then, of course, you've got the scored edge on this line. So I'm going to turn this one this way to do it. I'm going to go to the 4 1/4 mark, back it off a couple notches. This is my cheater's way of not having to do those detailed measurements. And then I'll just toss that piece because it's got that score line in it. And then on this one, I don't want to cut off any more of the top of that tree. So I'm going to score it this way, or cut it this way. So I'm going to go to 5 1/2, back it off a couple notches. Same thing on this one, except this one I'm going to cut at the top. So I'm going to go to 5 1/2, back it up a couple notches, and trim that off. And so now I've got 2 card fronts. And I just love those. I mean, this was a card and I couldn't waste the back of that. So I just had to cut these down and make something else with them. So I've got a bunch of my basic white cardstock cut into card bases. And my plan is to use those on there, possibly even put a little something around there. How gorgeous is that? And we'll decorate those. So I now have, instead of 5 cards, I'm going to get 10 out of that. And same thing with this green. I just cut those the exact same way I did these. Of course, it doesn't matter about the direction except for the score line on those, but they'll be the same size. And I've already cut those out. I had 5 of those, so that's 10 more card fronts. And then these were punched out. Now they're a little smaller, so I'll probably get into my stash and do something to go around that. But there's 5 more cards. So I'm going to get 25 cards out of this simply by adding some of my basic white card bases, and I may even do some different colors. I also went through my scrap bin that I had sitting next to me because I've been making some Christmas cards, and I pulled out all these scraps that I thought might go well with these Christmas cards. So I'm going to try to use up some of these. I even had a really large sheet of this color, which is, it looks more red on the screen, but it's actually kind of a dark burgundy color. And I thought it went really pretty with this. So I cut that piece down and I was able to get 3, 4, 5, 6 out of that. Now, I thought I had just trimmed one little strip off the top of that, and it must have been a 12 by 12 paper. So I went ahead and cut those down. And I think my plan on those is to use it with a white card base and do something with that. So I think that's really pretty and Christmassy. So I'll be using that. I've got my stamp set out. I've got these little round punch outs that came in the kit. I've got my Noel pieces. I've got my vellum trees. I even saved this for now. I don't know, but I kind of had a thought that I might be able to take these vellum pieces and maybe use, do some ink blending or use them kind of as a stencil. I don't think I'll be able to reuse them since they're just vellum, but I think I could stick those down and maybe do some, I don't know. I saved them just to see what I can do with them. So we'll see. We'll come up with something, see how that goes. And then I also have pulled out a few of my other stamp sets. I think I want to use this Peaceful Deer. I thought with those trees and those backgrounds, a deer or two might be pretty on there. And then, of course, I've got these extra trees that I can stamp if I want to. And I have a punch that punches these out, that punches this one out, which is really cute, or either of these. And so I may do that. And I also have this punch that I ordered this year, where you can make a border of trees, and I've seen some really nice things made with that, so I think I may pull that out and use it. So that's what we'll be using. Let's see what we come up with, and let's get started. So there you go. Those are just a few samples of what I was able to get out of this kit just by adding some supplies I already had in my craft room. So I hope you enjoyed this. I thank you so much for stopping by. If you'd like to know more about Paper Pumpkin, feel free to leave a comment or shoot me an email at makeitwithmenow@gmail.com. Thanks again and happy stamping.